Right, no mics or bits and pieces for this little bit. Before we start the video, I had a couple of questions in the comments. As a lot of you know, I don't answer the comments now because I'm a bit busy with answering stuff on my emails and Facebook and things like that. So I've decided to leave the comments to police themselves. But what I do is I read them all, and if I think it's important, then we'll have a look at them. So, first of all, the Goodman's Radio Show. Do I want to sponsor a housemate? No. Have I done luxury? Yes. Flick through my videos and you'll see that I've already been there several times and intend to do that again. In Redmond, yeah, pack your packed lunch, because you'll see later in the video an update on the German or winter bridge as it's called. So yeah, pack your packed lunch, you might need it. And thank you to the person who suggested that that's a good catchphrase. So yeah, let's have a look. What else was there? Oh yeah, and lots of people saying to try the Taverna in Spartia. So I'm going to take the Hobbit. The Hobbit's back now. So when the weather improves, it's a nice sunny day today, as you can see, but quite chilly. So when it improves and the Taverna's open, we'll try that out and we'll let you see what it's like. Timmy Doc J3I, I think it is, asked about rent here. Let's just say that compared to the UK, I would not be able to afford to rent anything like I had in Spilia or here or on the rest of the island. So that makes, for me, the cost of living much cheaper because I had to live on a boat, as you know, in the UK because there was no way I could afford rent. It depends what you want, doesn't it, really? I mean, if you want a big villa with a swimming pool looking out to sea, all modern, don't need to do anything to it, you're going to be paying a lot of money. If you want to live in the middle of a village like I do, and are prepared to do a little bit of work to the property, then it's a lot cheaper. So I would say, though, compared to the UK, rent here is way cheaper. I don't know about other places. I'm just commenting on Kefalonia, which is why I'm not going to go into the details of how much I pay, because it's not really relevant. It depends where you want to go. All I can say to that is check it out with a few of the local people who rent houses on the island. There's lots of those. You can Google that. So that's the little update. While we're here, the stuff for the garden's doing well. I've got lettuces in there. These are actually seed trays that the Hobbit gave me that were left over at her house. The bags that I put on them are the shrink bags that you put your clothes in and vacuum pack. You can only use them once or twice and then they're knackered. So I thought this was a good use of them. I've taped this one up because it got holes in it, and this is the irrigation pipe that's left over from when I've done the irrigation. My radishes are doing well. The Sika plant is doing very good. Bell peppers haven't started yet. Can't remember what those are. I think those are lettuces. Cucumbers have started. More lettuce in there. Vine tomatoes have started. That is what we got in there. Can't remember. I have got them labelled, so it doesn't really matter. I've got lettuce in that one and radishes in another one. That's probably those are tomatoes, I think. These are vine tomatoes, and I've got an onion growing in there, and that's an experiment. I've got strawberries growing in that one. So there you go, little update for you. It's like that. She's back. Look. Where are we? Well, more about that later. Sure. It is, yes, sausage. So we thought we'd come out on the bike. It's Friday. Oh no, realise what's happened here. Cut. We've got room. Ships. Makes the channel. Start again. Shall we get on with the video? I think we will. It's Friday. Welcome back to Rudgey, aka the Doctor. If you haven't already, hit the like, the share, and the subscribe. Sit back and enjoy the ride. That all helps me with this channel. And if you visited the Coffee and PayPal page, thank you ever so much for doing that. It's a massive, massive help to me. And I wouldn't be able to make these videos without your help, really. So, yeah, thank you for that. Right, well, where am I? Well, yeah, I have some news. More about that later on. Should we get on with the video? Yeah, let's get on with the video. Okay, well, got a slight problem with the Black Pearl. She's in need of some maintenance anyway. However, the front exhaust downpipe on 2 of the cylinders has cracked all the way around, which means it goes fit, 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 fit. Doesn't sound very good. Now, for the moment, because I had to use the bike, as you know, it's my only transport. For the moment, I've done an old Triumph trick from back in the day. Got some baking foil, rolled it into a tight roll and wrapped it around the pipe and crushed it back up. And that seems to have held up for the moment. But I needed to weld it. Now, the reason it cracked was that when I brought the bike, the silencers weren't supported by anything. So all the weight was on here. I've seen people do that before, and it's if you're doing it now, do something about it, because you will break your downpipes. So as you can see, I made some supports, nice and strong. The downpipes, unusually, are stainless steel, so they work hard. So of course, when they get hot and cold, the vibration has eventually cracked them. Now, I do have a welder. My trusty old borer MIG down there. As you can see, it's not up and running at the moment. I have got all the bits and pieces to run it, except for a bottle, and I've lost the regulator. So I needed to buy a regulator and a bottle. Now, getting the regulator might not be a problem, getting the bottle might not be a problem here. However, I've got to get it back, and I do only have the bike. So, came up with a plan. In Lidl's the other day, I saw these. A good picture of it. Yeah, sort of. There you go. It's a gasless welder, which I've now taken out the box and set up. Comes with a strap so you can put it over your shoulder. Gasless, yeah. Now, I've been a bit of a snob about these things in the past because, well, I've got professional equipment and I've been doing it professionally all my working life. In fact, I became quite well known in my area for being the person to turn to if you needed something welding. So, desperate times, I thought, well, it'll do what I need to do for that. It's only very light welding. So I'm going to do a little review on it and let you know what the Parkside welder is like and if it's any good. So I'm going to get some scrap steel now, find my welding mask, because it comes with that. My eyes are worth more than a set of exhausts for the bike. So I'm going to get my welding mask out, my shield that I've had for a few years now, and see how this works. I'm going to tell you guys all about it. That's actually quite a bit more powerful than I thought it would be. It's blown a hole in that rod. So I'm going to turn it down, have another go. Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I've now got it down to almost its lowest setting. The first run you saw me do produced those, the first 2 runs, and the last run produced that, which I'm pretty happy with. It's almost up to my standards, not quite. The thing I found a bit difficult is there's no shield round this, and I'm used to having a shield so I can judge how far away I am. But I think I'll get used to it. And of course, things to remember if you buy one of these: keep the lead for the torch straight so you don't get any obstruction for your wire feed. And yeah, start off on the lowest setting. I didn't think it was going to be that powerful. It's very good, very good. I thought it was only going to be good for jewellery, but yeah, I mean, it's welded those together. That ain't coming apart. So I'll keep you updated on how I get on with that. I think this is going to be a useful part of the workshop. So there, Parkside welder. I'll give it a 10, an 8, a solid 8, I reckon. I mean, it's never going to be as good as a MIG welder, is it? But a gassed MIG welder, that is. But yeah, I reckon you could weld a car with this. You'd have to have it on a really low setting, though. It is quite vicious. I'm quite surprised. Anyway, that's your Parkside welder. Right, well, I haven't bored you with the details of getting the exhaust pipes off the bike. I'll explain that in a minute, but I'm sure a lot of you know how to do that. I've had to take the belly panel and the silencers off in order to get this off. What we're doing, well, I think I might have said this in a previous video, the flanges, these bits here. In fact, I'll get the camera and show you. So these flanges here are welded to the pipe. Now I'll see if I can find one that's still loose. There you go. See the movement in that? That shouldn't do that. It should be solid like that. And the idea is it goes into the head. There's a gasket sits on here, and then that clamps up to the head, pulling the gasket tight. No exhaust leaks. Well, this one, as I said in the previous video, broke completely off. So I put some tin foil around it to fill the hole up, just for now. And that worked for a while, but it wasn't going to work forever. So the next problem is how to weld these on, because if I weld them from this side, I was worried about the obstruction not being level and therefore these not clamping up properly. So on further inspection, when I got the thing off, as you can see, they're welded on the inside. Now I've got the trusty gasless MIG there, which I'm actually quite surprised at, to be fair. As you can see, I've done that one. It's not fantastic. I don't know whether you can see, but it's the best I can do, and it's certainly nearly as good as the weld that was in there. So I'll clean that up, get the Dremel in there, just take the edges off it, and that'll do for now until I can get hold of another downpipe. It's a standard downpipe, luckily. So I'm going to crack on, weld that one back up and this one, and then we can put it all back together. Then I've just got to do the wheel bearings. I might try the pipes back on that Jeff and Amanda Yaxley sent me, because they're quieter, so I'll be able to hear whether there's any exhaust leaks. But yeah, as you can see, the clamps there go onto these studs and pull it up tight into the head. So there you go. Let's crack on. Well, that's that. Whether it's going to work remains to be seen. Just got to clean it up now. You may have noticed I was on and off the trigger there. It's because I've got the ampage turned up, and the idea with that is I'm getting plenty of penetration. And of course, if I go back over my weld, I'm going to make sure there's no gas leaks. Hopefully, everybody's got their own way of doing this. I'm sure somebody's going to comment, but that's the way I'm doing it, and it works for me. So I'm just going to check for no cracks. There's a little crack just starting on this one by the looks of it. So I might well weld that just over where it started to fail before it causes a problem. And yes, I understand this is stainless, and by welding it with mild steel makes it brittle, but you've got to do what you've got to do. You've got to remember we live on an island here and parts are hard to get, so this is just a temporary repair till I can replace the pipes. And then I might, when I get my MIG working properly, I might make some new pipes up for her, or I might take these to a shop when I find somebody who's got one that's got a TIG and TIG weld them. Anyway, that's for another day. Right, so there we go. Pipes are on. I'm going to fit Jeff and Amanda Yaxley's contribution, the silencers they sent me, which are much quieter than the ones I normally run. We got those because I needed them for its test every 2 years. So I'm going to put them on because they're quieter, I'll be able to hear any leaks. But I think that's pretty good really. Now, I've cleaned these downpipes up, as you can probably see, and I use Agia, and it's not sponsored or anything like that, although if Agia are watching and they'd like to sponsor me, I'll take that. I started using this a while back. It cleans aluminium up like you wouldn't believe. You just rub it in and wipe it off and the aluminium comes up like it's been polished. Sol Autosol, I could have used that on the stainless pipes. I find it a bit more abrasive and doesn't seem to work as well as this, so yeah, I've used some Agia. And on the bits, because of stainless, on the bits down there that go in the belly pan, I used a bit of wire wool. But the most of it I've done with a bit of tin foil and some Agia. So there's another tip for you. But this I'll just wipe that on with a cloth, give it a good rub in. It turns black, which means it's got all the contaminants out, and then you just wipe it off and that'll come up like new. But I've got to wash the bike first. So yeah, pipes are on. Let's get the silencers on, see what she sounds like. There you go. Yeah, now, I know a lot of you will say, oh, I prefer that. Well, yeah, I can see what you're saying. The chrome don't get you home though, does it? I like the sound of them. So I'm going to get the keys and try it. Right, I'll band that up because it's not done up tight enough, so I'll just put a bit of rag around that for now. Let's see what it sounds like. Now, put the belly pan back on, just nip these up, let it warm up and nip them up so they're tight on the gaskets, and I think that's a successful day's work with the Parkside gasless MIG welder from Lidl's. I think it was about €80 or something, so it would have cost me. By the time I took it down the road, found somebody to do it, they've done it, and I brought it back and it's not right and I've had to take it back again. Worth it, I think, don't you think? So there you go. Right, well, because of the weather, I haven't really been able to get out and about much. We're at the 28th now of February. Hobbit will be back on Monday, and I thought I'd come out while the sun's out, come out for a ride. And also I've got to go to Lidl's, get some shopping again. Over in the distance there is the lovely Assos. And of course round the corner and down the hill would be Kyriakis and Vuti. So that can only mean one thing. Yeah, we're at the bridge. Now, if you visit my Coffee and PayPal page, you will already have seen this because I put that out a while back now. I'm not sure when this video will be going out, but it's probably well out of date now. But I figured that the news wasn't that important to a lot of you as you'll be coming out on your holidays and the direct flights don't start till April. As you can see, they're making provisions for flood water to make its way down there. Very important here. Yeah, they've still got to tarmac the road, but it seems to be open to traffic. I've certainly seen no signs saying we can't use it. I was quite surprised. You'd never get away with this in the UK, would you? Anyway, let's have a look, see what they've done. Like I say, it needs tarmacking. There's a footpath either side. Still not quite sure why they took the German bridge down. There's been a lot of controversy about that. A lot of people complaining about it. It appears to me that they said they couldn't work around it, but I think they could have probably done that. But never mind. It's done now. That's the end of it, really. Yeah, as you can see, nice new bridge. So I'm going to go and do a bit of shopping. I'm going to have a little ride out now. I'm not going anywhere particular. I just thought I'd bring you along with me. So that's the update on the bridge. Let's go get aboard Nicky, go for a bit of a ride. I'm not quite sure still why they dug all that out up there. There's been all sorts of rumours about it. People saying they were selling the rocks and stuff that come out of there because it's all saleable, apparently, all this stuff. I don't know. But that bit of road there would be nice and wide. But the bridge, well, it doesn't seem much wider than it was before, really. Anyway, let's go. And just like that, with the power of television or YouTube, here we are in Agia Efimia. This place here is open until 3, and then it closes until 6, and it's open again. But that's been all the way through the winter, so it's one of my places to come and ride out to. And now the bridge is open again, I'll be doing a lot more of that. So Let's have a look round and see what's going on. I was asked a while back now, when we had that storm a while back, whether the rest of the island had been affected by it. Well, as you can see, I'm very relieved to tell you that this time Agia Efimia didn't get involved in that, whereas in the Medicane there were boats, ships and stuff all sunken in here. Ships? Ships? There was lots of yachts sunk, just masts poking up, ships. I should cut that bit out really, never mind. I'll leave it in for your entertainment. Yeah, anyway, and there was lots of, there had been a mudslide from the top of the mountain. I don't know whether you can call it a mudslide really. Rubble, fridges, dead animals, parts of houses, all sorts of stuff came sweeping down through the valley and right up onto this road here. This road was covered in mud and I had to dig it all out. There was a couple of yachts had been washed up onto the road almost, just there. So they did quite a clean up and it was done for the next season. So that's how resilient these people are here. As you can see, all the tavernas are closed. Like I say, that one, Silio, I think it's pronounced, that's open all year. It's one of my favourite haunts on the bike when I want a little ride out for a coffee. It takes me about an hour. Well, like I say, I was filming the bridge today, so when I realised the bridge was open, I thought we'll come and have a little look, see what's going on. What's it like to holiday here? I've been asked that a few times. Answer to that one is I don't really know. Useless, aren't I? No, I've heard it's very quiet if you like that sort of thing, which I would. As you can see, there's taverna after taverna along the front here, and in the summer, as you've seen if you follow me, lots and lots of yachts. If you like that sort of thing, which I do, then it's ideal, isn't it? And if you're on holiday and you've got a hire car, it's not too far away from things. I mean, Foscado is a lovely trip, but of course a lot of you don't like the mountain road. You can just make out the mountain road up there. So yeah, you can go up and across and over to Foscado that way, or you can go in the way that I came, which is through the middle of the valley. That brings you out to Mitters, where you turn right and follow it through to Foscado that way, or you go the other way into Argosoli. You can hit all sorts of places from here. It's quite a good place. And this is a good friend of mine's taverna here. He said he's open in May, and I can recommend him. Been there and eaten. There he is. Yeah. Yeah, I took Chopper Craig and Auntie Kath in there. I can't remember what we had to eat, but the food was pretty good there. There is was a good burger bar up here. I don't know whether that's still there. The problem I've got with recommending places is, unlike that place I just showed you, they change chefs and staff each year, and you know, you can never. But it might have been good the year I went and not so good when you come. So I don't very often recommend places unless they're family run. There's a lot more tavernas up round that corner there. That's quite a nice place to go if you're staying here. So yeah, there you go. Agia Efimia, or Agia Efimia. It's the AG is Saints, apparently. I bet a lot of my Greek, I've got a lot of Greek people that watch me. I bet they're always in stitches laughing at my pronunciation of things and lack of understanding of certain things. Anyway, I do try. I am trying to learn. That's Sami over there, and this bit of road. If you go back through my videos, me and Jimmy Wednesday came out on a ride out here. That is one of my favourite bits of road along there.
Picturesque. It's got everything. Picturesque, good bends, good quality tarmac. Yeah. So there you are. The picturesque town, or port, shall we say, of Agia Efimia. So, time to get back aboard the Black Pearl, and I've got to go to Lidl's now, do a bit of shopping. Might even do you an update on the price of things. Won't be relevant because by the time this video goes out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, might be a month before this video goes out, so that's the problem I have. Because of the weather, the fact I've only got the bike to run, to go places, I try and stack up a lot of footage so I can make, I need the content obviously to make these films for you. And sometimes they get a bit ahead of themselves and it takes a few weeks before they go out. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. Those up there on that mountain. Oh yeah, windmills. Yeah. Net zero. It's getting a bit expensive, all that stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the bike. There she is. The only decision now is which way to go, this way or this way. And there's your man from the restaurants. They'll see you all in May.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. He's a good chef.
Thank you. I love you, Kefalonia.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. They have to book their tickets for the plane.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're in here for me, like I say, check his place out. He does some good food in there. Well, there you go. By the power of television and YouTube, we're now in the port of Sami. If you see my mate at his restaurant, pop in and just say your friend from YouTube recommended you, and I'm sure he'll look after you. Yeah, it's a great bloke. Anyway, yeah, I thought we'd go the long way around. I might live to regret that, but like I say, the sun's out down here, but up on that mountain it's going to be blimmin' cold. But I've got the right gear on, so hopefully it won't get too chilly. And then we're off to Lidl's, but I thought I'd show you around the port of Sami. Right, so yeah, this is the port of Sami in the winter. As you can see, there's not a lot going on. Even the ferry's been tied up for ages by the looks of it. They've got a huge, great line out to the port there. You wouldn't want to come in on a 30-footer and not notice that, would you? Mind you wouldn't be coming in there anyway. It's just for ferries only, really. But yeah, as you can see, very, very quiet. There's 1 or 2 tavernas open, and that's about your lot, really. All the main ones are shut. Nothing happening at all. Very nice fishing boat there, look. I love all that sort of stuff, look at it. What a beautiful looking thing, isn't it? That'd make a nice conversion, that would actually, wouldn't it? Stop yourself, Rudgey. Don't want to go back there again. 25 years of living on a boat. Yeah, don't miss that really. Well, I do in a way, but I love the house I'm in. So yeah, I think I've said this before. Up there is the monastery. They're rebuilding it at the moment. We'll go up there in the summer, or maybe when the Hobbit's back. Might do that next week. Who knows? But yeah, as you can see, very, very quiet. I've said this before, I bet it's a bit of a culture shock to some of you that come here in the summer and have stumbled across me and thought, oh, Sammy, here for me. Yeah, we'll watch that video. Oh, it's a bit quiet. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, the only downside is you've got not so much choice as to where you can eat in the winter. There's, like I say, there's one or two places that stay open. That's about it. But yeah, it's a good playground. I mean, I've just popped out. I needed to do some thinking. It's not as easy as people think moving to another country. It gets complicated, especially when you've got to sign something, which has cropped up today. I need to be in the UK to sign something, really. Well, how do you do that? It was suggested it was posted to me, but that could take up to a month. So there's 2 months by the time you've got it back to wherever it's got to go. Flights are expensive, and it's something that can't really be done digitally. So I thought I'd come out and clear my head, come out for a ride on the bike. Luckily, I'm one of those people that does that, you know. But yeah, difficult. But that's why I'm out today. So I think we'll get on the bike and head on back towards Lidl's and do my shopping. That's where we've just come from. That bit of road there, I highly recommend that. If it's your first time in Kefalonia and you do anything, do the road between Efimia and Sami. That road there, it's fantastic. And if you can see that scar, if it's coming out on the video, that scar in the mountain, that's the road that takes you around to Foscado. There's some fantastic views from up there. Take your breath away. But if you don't like mountain roads, I don't recommend it. Mind you, there's a lot of them here. Right, before it gets too cold, I'm off. Right, now I happen to know that a few of you don't ride motorbikes, just one or two of you. So you might not get this, but it's chilly coming across that mountain, I can tell you that for nothing. No heater on the bike. This is what it's all about, guys. I left Sami a while back, and I've been chasing the sunset so I could get here to film that. Look at that. Now, this, as some of you will know, has always been a favourite little spot of mine. I used to come and contemplate the meaning of life and all sorts up here once upon a time. Look at that. Look at that. That's Augustoli down there. And that's where we're headed. And then we'll turn left and go up to Lidl's and then home. You can see Rabbit Island in the background there and the sun slowly setting. So if you ever wondered why I live here and why I ride a motorbike, there's one good reason. And like I said, I've had a bit of a struggle mentally today, which is one of the reasons I came out. It doesn't take much for things to get on top of me. So a little word about that, guys. If you're struggling, it's not, you know, it's no big deal to tell somebody, really, is it? It shouldn't be, not in this day and age. Doesn't mean to say that you're not, you know, a man or anything like that. I know these times are a bit confusing, but yeah. See, at the moment, the Hobbit's in the UK and I'm on my own, so I haven't really got anybody to talk to, apart from you guys and my bike. So, yeah, like I say, I took myself off. I've been all the way around now, haven't I? Went round that side of the mountain and came out the other end. So, so there you go. That's one of the reasons that I do what I do, so I can see things like that. Now, the best part about this is I would leave the camera on, but we're getting a lot of wind noise today, so there'll be no point. I'll be going down there now, and that view will be with me right the way till I get down to the bottom, and the sun will have set by then. So, I'm off. I'm feeling a little bit better. You'll be glad to know. Like I said before, in my case, it's a bit like the weather. It sort of comes and goes. And tomorrow is another day. So if you're feeling that bad, reach out to somebody, guys. Nothing's ever that bad. And like I said, my gran used to say, tomorrow's another day. I've been using all that tyre, haven't I? Crikey. Right, let's get back on the bike, head home. It's like that, she's back, look. Been back a week now, haven't you? Well, longer than that.
No, not quite a week. A week tomorrow.
Oh, right, yeah.
Dressed a bit warmer than usual.
Yes.
Mind you, this is the nicest day we've had,
It is, yes, sausage. So we thought we'd come out on the bike and have a look at the damage that was done to the road during the recent storm we had. I'm not sure when this video will go out. But yeah, it's the 10th of March. I'm not sure when this is going out. Now, they closed this road because it was completely blocked, but as you can see, they've dug a lot of it out, but it is still closed. They put some boulders across the road, which it could be quite easy to drive into if you weren't careful. By the time I'd realised they were there, we'd sort of wiggled our way past. But yeah, anyway, the mayor was on about spending 5 million on this stretch of road. I won't walk all the way down, but you get the gist. All this slid into the road here. You can see where they've pushed it out. I would presume they'll just tidy it up in the summer. But I think they're probably going to keep it closed during the winter, because obviously we get more rain, it will do it again, won't it? So there's your little update. Hobbit's had a bit of a rough time of it, so we've had a nice couple of days. She's been gardening, and I thought, well, let's go out for a bit of a ride. We'll go to my favourite cafe and get a coffee. Right, well, so that was this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you haven't already, do me a favour, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and sit back and enjoy the ride, because that will help me immensely with these videos. And if you visited the Coffee and PayPal page this week, thank you ever so much for doing that. Massive help. It means the world to me that you guys will support the channel in that way. I wouldn't be able to do this without that now. Anyway, yeah, so that's the bridge update, and a little bit of Efimia in the winter, and the port of Sami. And like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, well, I'm not sure what will happen next week. We'll just have to see. It's like a box of chocolates, this channel. Anyway, just remember this. Dreams do come true. True story. And it's always a great day to be alive. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Well, that was this week's video. Hope you enjoy. Start again. I mean, foot kept falling off the foot peg. It's not good, is it? Where's makeup when you need her? I don't know. May? She's going to come out in May. Oh.